We're back here with Kevin and Fred, and we're going to talk about the FX2 NovaNet controller, and I'm going to have them take it away, and we'll go from there.
Hi again, Paul. How are you? So this is Fred Eichhorn. Fred is our engineering manager with Novatech. I like to call him our puppet master with controls because he seems to have a way to do some pretty unique things with controls. As we talked earlier in the presentation today, more and more customers want to see their network across different platforms. They want to be able to see it at their desk. They want to see it maybe at the purchasing desk. They may want to see it on their iPhones or their iPads. Novatech has done a really good job, and Fred's done a great job creating those platforms so we can share that information simple, and basically once you have the control system, it's free. It's all dependent on whether you want to network it or not. That being said, this is our FX2 control system. This controller is basically, it's Ethernet IP driven for expansion, but it starts out at 32 stations, 5 pumps, and 25 purge valves. It's capable for auto ID, which means that you can have manifold proofing so that you don't send the wrong material to the wrong place. You can monitor your silos, you can monitor your blenders, and you can actually network into your drying system as well. So it's kind of a full facet network to give you full access and visibility to your system. Fred, you want to tell us a little bit about the platform we use?
Sure. The platform is a Siemens-based PLC system in touchscreen. This one is our 12-inch model. It's capable of 5 pumps and 32 stations, but can be expanded through remote I/O using Profinet to 20 pump capability and 160 stations.
Perfect. As we mentioned before, it is networkable, so if the purchasing people want to be able to see their silo level or capacity for reordering from their desk, it's easy to network to them. This represents the silo levels. It would give you actual a bar graph on the level of the silo, and if you use load cells, you can actually get actual weight out of the silo so you know what your inventory control would look like. Blender monitoring and overview. You can go into your blender individually and you can set up recipes. Maybe Fred can tell us a little bit more about that.
Sure, Kevin, no problem. So as you see here, we're looking at a blender. This is communicating to Maguire blenders. We have the ability to talk to 32 Maguire blenders at a time. And in addition to getting status information, totalizers, start-stop capability, we can also edit recipes on the actual blenders. So a great thing is we can actually upload a blender after everything is running successfully, upload it into our FX2 controls with NovaNet, and save those as recipes. So later on, when additional equipment is loaded, we can then quickly download those setup parameters and have another blender up and running instantly.
Awesome. Going back to the home screen, understanding that we have different customers, whether they be English speaking or Spanish speaking, we can actually go into the setup screen here and convert this controller to be Spanish, I guess, language. And we also, I'll call it dummy down the controller, so it's also a lot of icon driven, so you don't have to necessarily know the language to know what you're doing with the control panel. If you look at the overview screen on the stations, we make it very simple for the customer to understand what your system's going through. Representatively, each station, if it's calling for material, if it's purging, if it's discharging, if it's satisfied, you'll see the status of each station on the main screen. You can identify and name these stations whatever the customer wants to name them. Maybe station 1 is machine 1. Maybe station 1 is a drying hopper 10. You can name them and label them so that your technicians and your employees that work with the system can identify them easily. Going into each station for your setup allows you to have simple approach for each station setup, whether it be fill time, discharge time, purge, pump assignments, closed loop convey, a lot of things that we offer as standard in our control panel that a lot of our competitors would offer as options. Anything you want to add to this at all, Fred?
Sure, Kevin. Kevin talked about the station setups. In addition, we have the ability to, with the optional, with our QSM modules, with Auto ID, we can proof and make sure that the material, and validate that the material going to that station is the correct one that the customer wants to use. In addition, we have a new Airspeed Control feature. The Airspeed Control combined with our AFR is a patented feature to reduce wear in the system and conveying a softer convey.
We have another one, but it's on the other side of the wall, so we're going to cut over to the FTS, and they're going to talk about that. So let's go on over. Good morning and welcome back with Fred, and we're going to talk about the FTS Controller. Fred, why don't you take it away?
Thank you, Paul. The FTS Controller is our mid-range systems controller. It's a very action-packed, featureful controller. It has 3 pumps and 34 station controls, and it has source, dry air, all the features that you would expect in a higher level controls. One of the recent things that we've added to it is its remote control capability. The FTS can control and remotely take over other Novatec equipment, such as dryers, crystallizers. There's other equipment in our plant. They have the ability from the FTS controller to control that equipment. You can also control other FTS or FX2 controls. So it has a lot of extra value. This allows a customer or service to be able to remotely access from anywhere in the world through a web page directly to this, HTML, smartphones, computers.
Perfect. Fred, that's terrific. For more information on this systems approach and on the controllers, go to www.novatec.com, but also keep in mind there's a full systems PowerPoint presentation that will be on display in the virtual trade show. It'll be a little icon you can see, pop on it, and you'll get a more in-depth discussion through the PowerPoint on systems. Thanks.